this gaming, you know, with like Rookie, The Shy, Jackie Love, etc. I think that's very, very hard to pull off. It's very exciting to watch. So, look, I'm looking forward to them putting their best foot forward, but I do think DCG will come out on top.
Yep, I'm inclined to agree. And potentially for the last time tonight, loading back onto the Rift. Of course, if you're a West Point fan, you want this to be the second to last time. And if they are going to do it, it has to be now. Of course, bot lane should be pretty winning for them for at least the start of the game, as well as mid. I think the problem may lie around top. I'm not sure how well this Aurelia will be doing into Taco on the Mordekaiser. Certainly one out on his 1v1 last game. Once again, it will be an AP champion against an AD bruiser. Now, Fleet Footwork is there once again this game.
Makes a lot of sense in this one, I think. I really want to see how the top lane does pan out because, again, in my head, I would have thought that Aurelia won, but you know what? I trust Taco. If he thinks it's a good matchup, then I'm down for it.
For sure. New rune picked up on Nuli. Going to give himself an extra skill point at level 9. Bit of adaptive force at, I believe it's level 5, level 6, something like that.
I think it's level 6. I can't quite remember though.
Now, Tide definitely going to want to have a better game for himself this game.
Yeah, if he can get a better start, he definitely performed well in the team fights, just needs to get off the ground a little bit. And to be honest, laning up against the Caitlyn Lux is a pretty tall order to begin with.
He's gone the longsword 3 pots, so he does have a little bit of extra sustain. It is slightly squishier though, so if any of these bindings do land, will be chunked out pretty hard. Rally though, hitting 2, immediately jumping onto Taco. It is going to force out Taco's flash very, very early. So certainly, at least for now, trade's going well in favor of this Aurelia.
Bot lane is pushing in, as Caitlyn Lux is wont to do. Vi's around, but most likely will just be pathing up, given that he started the red. Although, there are some pings around that bot tri-bush. I'd be very surprised to see Vi. Well,
I actually think he started with Wolves, by the way.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he definitely is planning for a bot lane gank then. And he's going to look. This is the red side bot lane.
We've seen this ward before, and once again, it's a little bit too late at spotting out. Now, there is flash available for both Char and Cheng. Although, the Vault Breaker will connect. First Blood goes over to Milio. Not the ideal person to pick it up, but certainly nice to alleviate the pressure this early on in the Caitlyn lane.
Yeah. And that will mean that Viego can go away and steal some of these topside camps, but I think the damage has already been done to the Caitlyn Lux lane. And it just seems so hard to pull this off on the red side, right? Like, you can ward that tri-bush, but then there are so many other gank paths. It's really difficult, I think, with one ward to protect yourself. Although, maybe they could have committed more wards. I think they use them in lane just for push control, but maybe that's just not an option on the red side. It's definitely not easy, whatever the solution is. Viego does get a lot of camps off of this. So 665, he's definitely sacrificed himself pretty heavily in order to create a fairly good position for his bot lane.
I want to say Chris Carter's trading in this mid lane better than most Azirs are able to.
Yeah, I'd say Ori tends to come out very ahead in this matchup with the Comet build. Especially in those early levels. We saw it a lot at Worlds where the Ori's... Oh, no flash on Taco. I think he's gone.
Yeah, this guy should be not long for the world. It is a nice drag back there, but Relia, only having to find a couple more autos, will be able to, and that's a kill up in the top lane here for Relia on his name champion.
That is not looking good, though. That's a frozen wave pushing away from him, and he has no flash. So things are really dire in the top lane here for Taco. And remember, this is your top lane counter pick, so you can't really afford to be this far behind. Admittedly, Aurelia very strong in lane. If he can crash this wave, it looks like you will be able to. This is a big win because this being, having another death when this wave is pushing out would probably be GG for him. He has 2 cloth armors.
He certainly can battle Relia in this minion wave. This is a mighty wave.
Yeah, it looks like Aurelia will actually just be able to freeze it still. Has the vamp, so can just keep it forever. And that's, to me, the most infuriating thing. Yeah, and I can't believe that's allowed.
Jungle on opposite sides. Renier can just look for another gank. Taco is experiencing the Tide treatment in this game. That's running away. Stun lands. Taco will once again almost certainly be going down. Oh, okay. Doesn't quite land. Doesn't quite dodge, sorry.
Maybe he's out.
Nice claw. Flash from Relia. But it is going to be yet another kill picked up. 2-0.
Yeah. Okay, well, it was double flash committed, and I think that means the wave should push back to him, so it's not the worst death, all things considered. And on the bot side, at least DCG are trading a little bit. They get some damage out on the bot lane, and as well as picking up this first dragon. But top lane, it seems pretty donezo. It now comes down to how well can he neutralize while the rest of the map gets ahead. It is that Vamp Scepter and 2-0, of course, on this Aurelia. So basically full build. They're now going to get these Void Grubs as well. So everything coming up West Point on the top side.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Taco does get back to lane. He has got the Bramble Vest, so not really going to help him that much, to be honest. But maybe it'll mean he's got a slightly higher chance of living next time he does get ganked. However, the bot side winning as Lucian Melio against the Lux and Caitlyn, not to be expected. And I think that could mean some big problems when it comes to the mid lane, or mid game, sorry, for the side of West Point. Really starting to sort of shape up to be a bot versus top kind of game. And Chris Carter doing an absurdly good job as the Azir into the Orianna.
It definitely is doing well. I'm a little surprised by Nuli going for the tier. Saros is the best build on the Orianna at the moment, but I think to win this matchup, you have to rush out a chapter, which is at least what was happening a lot of Worlds. So maybe could have done one of the newer AP builds, something where you go chapter into Storm Surge into Shadow Flame. You just play some sort of burst build without an actual mana item. So maybe could have looked for that. Instead, it's starting to fall behind in that 1v1. Not a place you want to be, especially given that, again, you had that counter pick. And bot lane definitely is pulling far ahead.
Yeah. Lucian Melio being up a plate. Not where you want your Caitlyn Lux to be. That's one thing I'm certain of. Now, Taco will have this wave come back to him. He's going to lose at least the cannon for it.
Ooh, maybe
not. Yeah, none of the minions are targeting it.
But this current game state does feel like the reality of, again, playing with that Aurelia and the Caitlyn on the same team. It's not really possible, or at least not very easy, to ensure that both of them are in winning states, because the jungler can just only be one place at a time. And you see that right Tide pulling very far ahead. In the meantime, Aurelia really snowballing his lead up top. Now, Taco, he can probably keep this wave here for a while. I think the problem will come for the next set of Void Grubs. Does he win this fight? He seems to think he does.
Yeah, he's pretty confident in it. He's going to get ganked, but he also has a button to get rid of the gank.
Yeah, looks like he'll be able to walk it out, so that's pretty nice. Get that Aurelia ult. And managed to freeze the wave as well. So nicely played there by Taco. But coming back to my point, I think with 3 Void Grubs already picked up, you kind of want to contest the next one if you can. It's not the end of the world if you give them over, especially if you can trade something on bot side, but you would like to contest them, and I think that could be hard with the, just the state of the top lane strength at the moment. Oh, the E was a bit poor, but is able to flash to safety.
There's a lot of resources being spent top here, and fortunately for Taco, that means the game for him is not particularly easy. But to the benefit of his bot side, of course. I'm very impressed with Chris Carter.
There's another top lane gank coming out. He does have ult for this, and Aurelia is really low on mana. I think Mord wins this. Yeah.
Oh, Aurelia just got Mordekaisered.
He did.
Alright, is able to trade back, but certainly not what you want. You've just spent the last 7 minutes of this game living in top lane for him to get 1v1'd.
Yeah, I think that's a huge win there for Taco. I think just misplay from Aurelia, must have mismanaged his mana, because you really would like to get that successful dive off, take a couple plates, and then just go for a reset. And we'll see it again here. So Aurelia, I think you should just save E, probably, but I guess he felt like he had to use it. Unfortunately, just once he runs home, has nothing left. And it's just cleaned up. It was extra gold there picked up. Back in live, though.
Yeah, we're going to cease and desist on Zarenia. It's going to be a flash out here from 665, but Chaser will not be able to come through. Very nice stoppage there from Orca. But, I mean, you're Lucian into Caitlyn, and you're up 30 CS. I think things are looking pretty good. We see now, Blade the Rune King finish. This is a full build Aurelia.
Yeah, she's like 12 items now. Does force them away.
Especially with the new Blade of the Ruined King, where first auto is the one that slows you. Instead of at least having to get 3 off. Oh.
That's so unhealthy.
Oh, nice dodge.
Oh, actually walks back in.
Oh, Taco. Oh, my goodness. Relia is able to win. So
yeah.
It wasn't the easiest trade of his life.
Gonna grab all these Void Grubs. Now, despite the massive top deficit, the gold is pretty even. So bot lane is really making up for that. And Tide, he goes for the first item Voltaic, which I'm excited to see. I think this build is pretty good. Definitely gives you a lot of power immediately.
6 Void Grubs, though, for the side of West Point. So.
Yeah, that can be pretty nice, I think, with winning top as well as the Caitlyn. You see that ball completed is just able to go on Taco, and really nothing he can do to trade back up against this. And then this is I think this is illegal, although back to the line.
Yeah, 6-5, going to get that Vault Breaker blocked by Renier. He's going to finish off that kill with Heartbreaker, and now turns into Vi. Looking towards this dragon. Of course, Tide still sitting in that bot lane. Doesn't look like they're really going to have anything to say about this. Should just be the dragon going over, and a 1-to-1 apiece at least. Well, Taco, he's oh, is he going to... There's no way. Oh, my.
Actually does a lot of damage.
Yeah. Those isolated Qs.
Yeah, guess with the fully stacked Conqueror. Does hit pretty hard. Unfortunately, Aurelia with the bulk will probably just heal that up. But for now, gold is starting to go slightly into West Point's favor.
Oh. There's no way I dodged that E there.
It was pretty close. No, Taco just able to heal up, and honestly, if Taco can neutralize, I think DCG have a very solid chance of winning this game still, because they are ahead where they need to be, but it's just this Aurelia could really be a problem. That being said, the Mord can remove her later in the game, or just ult one of these other champs and take him out, steal his stats.
Yeah,
oh, no binding.
Wow. Tide dodging absolutely everything. Culling not the greatest, but certainly playing very risky and I mean, showing his mechanics, really. Ooh.
Yeah, the culling did go pretty wide. Now Viego's in the area, so Renier, he can counter this dive if they need to. This tower is getting very low, though, and it would be first tower of the game picked up if DCG can get it. And that would be a big gold injection on your Lucian, and we've seen what Lucian can do.
Oh, this is so sad.
Yeah. Well, you'll be fine. He's scaling. Okay, this first tower looks like it could be going down bot soon enough. Cheng needs to be careful.
Tide is really, really good mechanically. That's one thing I'm learning. I mean, I already kind of knew that from last split, but at least in these last 2 games, it's really been shown to me in full effect. As well as Chris Carter. He's been at Nully's tower about the whole game as the losing side of a 0 Orianna.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Does end up going for the Lost Chapter, by the way, so...
Yeah.
Going to be a very scaling build, but...
Yeah.
Oh,
that's so low. Didn't quite manage to get it. Had to run away from that Aurelia. That's actually a big deal because he has to base without that first tower gold, which is pretty significant. In the meantime, this Herald is being pulled by West Point, which I'm not sure how good this is.
Yeah, Taco's going to kill someone.
Yeah, if Aurelia TPs into this as well, you immediately lose your bot tower. So I feel like DCG should try force a contest just to get Aurelia away from bot and then pick up that free tower. Doesn't look like they're going to get here in time, though, although they're still looking.
Are going to use that cease and desist. It does land, and Taco now trying to find any damage he can. Char trying to flash away. Will end up getting stuck here in the death realm. Taco trying to locate this Lux. Will find it. Culling comes out. Will be Tide, pick himself up a kill there. Nully just flashing away from that grasp. And ultimately, this Rift Herald picked up here. Going to be in that inventory of Renier. But it was 1 kill traded back there. Going on to Tide. Probably the member of the team you'd most want it with. Maybe aside from Azir.
Yeah. Well, bot tower still 1 hit away, but Criscata does not feel comfortable moving up to it. He can keep Aurelia away from his tower, though, which is pretty important. Obviously, with those 6 Void Grubs that can be taken out in rather short order. A Herald as well. So West Point have the ability to really blow this game open here if they can find an opportunity. But look at the ADC item difference at the moment. It's pretty significant.
Now, Relia, quite the menace at the moment, though.
Now, what we might see is kind of similar to game 1 of today in our very first series, where just by having priority over mid lane in the mid game, it makes it impossible for the split pusher to really get anything done. So in that game, it was Glorious LeBlanc just couldn't really do anything. And in this game, I could see Relia's, really getting stuck on the side lane, unable to actually take any towers just because you don't feel comfortable pushing. But here, they have mid priority somehow, and they're bringing 4 members down. Krishkada, he's in trouble.
He's trying to clear out the wave. Does look like he might be able to. 65, though, going to get locked up. Lock going down onto him. He still remains at half HP, and Relia actually getting chunked very low. Bone plating comes out. Stun will miss. Relia now very, very low. Krishkada picking up that kill. Still continuing. These Sand Soldiers are doing some work here. Goes forward with that E. Is a little bit stuck now, but the Vault Breaker finds 2. Cheng as well as Char going to both be found, and it's just a clean wipe. DCG able to collect 4 of them. Meanwhile, up on the top side, not much happening, but a huge turn of events here for the side of DCG.
It's just a horror story for West Point as they get annihilated in that team fight. And that's really why, with these picks that West Point have gone for, they have to execute so well here. They had that priority on mid, so they come down and look to make a pick, but unfortunately, they just lack the damage. You can see here that the team just isn't that strong. They can't take out 665, and then Relia, unable to really stack up, is just chunked super low before the fight even starts. Has to flash out, immediately taken down. And this is Krishkada's Kingdom, where he just gets the DPS for free. And I think, again, you really just see the ease of execution here. Like, I feel like West Point had to play this so well, and they just didn't. And honestly, DCG played it really well, right? Like, the 665 flash at the end there was very, very nice. Obviously, pretty happy with that one. And that should now be that bot tower got picked up as well. And a pretty big gold swing. Well, Renier is in trouble. Yeah. Taco's level 11.
Yeah, look, this is just payback.
Yeah, it's personal.
Tide's going to connect it, though. Honestly, probably not the worst. Lucian now sitting on those 2 items. Likely to be looking for Stormrazor next. And Krishkada really having a good game. Good series, even.
Yeah, he's pretty strong.
I'd argue this proves that 80 carry players are just better.
Well, let's not go too far. Let's get a replay. Wait, what happened here? Thought this was going to be something completely different, but I think Cheng Nai might have just been caught on the mid wave by a Vi.
Oh, Vi pressed the funny button.
Yeah. Not much that can be done here. It's just taken out pretty much immediately. Now back to life, Krishkada getting a lot of damage down. And this can be the problem with the Void Grubs, is that you do kind of need to be winning to actually use the power. Now, chances are, if you get all 6 Void Grubs, you are winning, right? But in a game like this, where if you get them and then you immediately start falling behind, they can actually end up pretty useless, which is kind of what's happening. As now another side lane tower has fallen. And mid lane's probably not too far behind. Although there is still a Rift Herald for the Viego.
That's true. I don't feel too confident that Relia just straight up wins the 1v1 anymore.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
It is working towards those Merc Treads, but the Riftmaker now being completed has a bit of CDR as well as armor boots and a Bramble Vest. Makes the 1v1 potential of this Mordekaiser, at least against the Relia, just that much stronger. I mean, ultimately, I think Taco will pretty much beat anyone in his death realm. The only question mark would be Relia.
Okay, deploying back on the map is DCG. Herald gets dropped mid, but I don't really think anyone... Okay, well, he's going to get into it. Oh, no, he doesn't know how to drive.
Uh-oh.
Or does he?
Uh-oh.
He does not. Oh, no.
That was drink driving.
Yeah, he definitely needs some more practice with that.
Do you think it was a situation? I don't know if this has happened to you, but there's been occasions where I don't even think I've clicked the thing and I just hop on it.
I accidentally jumped into it once. But I think there he was going for it. Or maybe he decided that, like, he got in it and then he thought it was a bad idea, so he just piloted around. But
yeah, that's fair.
Very strange use of the Rift Herald. Obviously didn't achieve anything. So now it's DCG's turn to make a play, and it looks like this mid tower is where they will focus their efforts. A 665. Oh, that was very close.
Yeah. Good spotting using that sweeper. Able to see that Vi is, in fact, in the bush. Char has to be careful, though. Definitely quite weak is this Lux.
This feels pretty forced.
It does feel very forced. Shockwave coming out, though, means that 665 will get that much closer to Char, but will be taken out. That's a nice kill picked up here for Nuli on the Orianna, as Rallia will commit that teleport to arrive at the play as well. Now, the Sandcastle is up, and Cascada does do a lot of damage, although I don't imagine there's a whole lot of life left on this tower. There isn't. Taco's going to come in. Char will be going down.
Char is absolutely massacred. Rallia, I think, not far behind. This could also be a Baron.
It certainly could be. Tide, though, is getting taken out by Renyi. Will be taken out. And now there is an extra Lucian to add to this play. Taco turning around. Is not in the death round. Does not have it available for him.
At West Point, they really want to try and get more here, but I don't know if it's possible. I think Cascada is so strong in the Azir and has all sums as well as the ult. If he's kept safe, he can just DPS for free.
Yeah, 665 returning to the play as well.
Ooh.
Cascada, he's looking for the catch. Renyi might just be caught out. A Heartstopper comes out. Streamer shuffle into the Emperor's Divide. Renyi actually living. Cascada going to get taken down. Shockwave. It's a nice amount of CC there onto those three members of West Point as 665 continues on forward. Taco as well. Looking for Char. Does go wide there on that smash, and it looks like Heal will be taken out. So everything coming up pretty good for West Point for the time being, although Tide now respawning will be trying to deploy out to help his teammates.
Pretty ambitious there from DCG, I think, with that as the TP. Probably could have just backed off Rel here.
Oh, Tide gonna have to dodge that stun. It might not even matter. It does get hit by it, but here comes the cease and desist. Rally still turns it around. Out comes that ult, and he's looking now for 665. Does get a bit of a speed boost to get himself out, but what a turnaround from Rallia.
Yeah, pings on the Baron now, so DCG, they really don't want to give this one over, and maybe Cascada can get here in time. He has to run here pretty much immediately, and I don't think it'll be enough. And this would be an insane throw from DCG. They had this game in their hands and potentially giving it over. Now, they can take the portals, so possibly even with this Baron going over, they might be able to take the fight after. At least they're going to try.
Yeah, Cascada will get here to try and stop backs and whatnot, but it does look a little bit like the play is going to be over. Char might be taken out. In fact, he won't. Just loses his flash, and pretty giant throw, all things considered here from DCG, but well played by West Point to be able to capitalize on the misplay coming out.
Yeah, Cascada, he ended up with nowhere to go. He did deal a lot of damage, but with Lucian dead, you know, you're wondering, should you even be looking for these fights? Because it is always going to be a 4v5, and you know, after the Azir dies, there really isn't much damage remaining. And then the plays afterwards really put the nail in the coffin. They died on the mid-wave to the Aurelia and ended up giving over the Baron. So it's a pretty big swing. That being said, DCG are still pretty comfortably ahead. So it's still looking reasonably good for them. That being said, West Point, especially with their Void Grubs, if they can push down the lane, have the potential to really grab themselves a lot of gold. But do they actually feel strong enough to do so? I'm not sure. I feel like the Caitlyn is a bit too weak to siege. I mean, look at her items. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, Rallia is looking. We'll be able to get some resets on that mid-wave, but not able to find the stun. Cascada playing respectfully enough to get away. He's finding a lot of damage here as the Azir. Looks like he might be building Crypt Bloom, which I find a little bit curious. Cheng9 will be able to get away with that 90 caliber net. Gets very, very low. Char looking for the ult. And here comes the shockwave. It lands onto 665. That's reset number one. There's an extra Vi now for the side of West Point if they choose to continue. Rallia certainly will, but here comes the death round. Taco perhaps saving the rest of his team, and in fact looking to turn it around even onto Rallia. Won't be able to find it. Grasp also will go wide, so all things considered, it is just 665 going down. Dragon now, though, will be looked at by the side of West Point.
Yeah, I think Dragon can be given over here as DCG. You want to just eliminate some of this Baron time, and if West Point spend time on it, should be fine. Maybe Rallia can come down bot, grab themselves a tier 1, a little bit of gold. Could be nice. I wonder if DCG should try find a way to get some healing reduction on someone that's not Mordekaiser here. Although maybe Mord's always going to be ulting Rallia, so it might not be a problem, but it feels like Rallia is just so hard to deal with at the moment.
For sure. Tide now, after his recall, is going to be able to have his Storm Razor completed. So a whole lot more power, and Cascada maybe gets the Crypt Bloom. Let's have a look. Yep, we'll have it. What do you think of the Crypt Bloom?
Yeah, I kind of like the Crypt Bloom. I kind of like the Crypt Bloom. I think Azir is a champ that can definitely get very high AP builds later on, and the only magic resist here is on the Aurelia, who I think will be in the Death Realm, and then there's just that little bit of magic resist on the Viego. So I think going for the Crypt Bloom is fine. Maybe there's an argument that Aurelia is by far the most annoying champ here, so maybe you should just build a Void literally for her. Kind of be thinking, okay, if I deal with that Aurelia, no one else is really an issue. So I think it's fine. We'll see how it ends up going. And 4 minutes on the next drag, so probably not a super realistic win con for either team. But you feel like DCG, they have the tools to win this game. They just need to find a way to deal with Relia, and then they should be able to win a fight and win the Baron or something after that.
For sure. Well, on the other side, West Point certainly have the opportunity too. Of course, Relia extremely strong right now. Newly also playing fairly consistently, although didn't have the greatest start. He's looking for Chris Carter. Chris Carter is looking like he's going to get out, and don't know what happened there, but Char's gone.
Yeah, I think that was just an opportunistic ult. He was trying to get out, found the Lux on the way, and said, hey, I'll take a little bit of that gold. And now Nuli needs to be careful. There's no Oriole here. Oh, TP comes through.
Yeah, Taco will be coming in. Does have that death round.
Flash.
I think as long as Taco's here, there's not a whole lot West Point can do, because if Relia tries to do anything, we'll just get death round. Maybe Chirrut is able to kill Taco, but it should be a team fight win for DCG in the meantime.
Okay, so moving down the map, it is finally the IE picked up on the Caitlyn. She is a full item and a half behind the Lucian, and also doesn't have, anyone buffing her. So ADC difference is well and truly in DCG's favor. I think West Point really need a big Oriole or Relia to go absolutely ballistic in a team fight for them to end up with a win.
Cosmic Drive on the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, a little interesting. I mean, going for the Cosmic kind of... I mean, it would make me think that he's going to ult someone else and try and chase him down with the movement speed, but maybe just thinks it's the best stat-wise. Get a bit of CDR, put out some more Qs.
Maybe it's to try and make sure your ult's up every time you have
that
a fight.
Could be it too.
Okay, now Siege coming up onto this top side, but is it being answered by DCG mid?
Yeah, very hard to make headway into this Azir. Meanwhile, the Orianna does not feel anywhere near as safe, so a tier 2 goes down for free. That being said, lots of pings onto mid. It seems like West Point, they want this fight.
665 definitely going the risky way. Does get stunned up. Breath of Life comes out. Taco will find the ultimate here onto Renier. He's trying to find the kill. Renier has run out of space, but getting over that wall with the Heartstopper. It's going to be 2 kills picked up from West Point so far, but Chris Carter does remain alive. He is the strongest player on the Rift for the side of DCG. As you can see with his damage coming out, does flash the Shockwave. And now Orca rejoining his team. It is still a 2v4 as Relia gets to work on this mid tower. Chris Carter trying to cut things off. He does build the sandcastle and... Ooh.
He's just scaring him a little.
Scaring me a little.
And Griscata is going for the Zhonya next, which I think is kind of surprising. I think, yeah, Zhonya this game I think is just inferior to Rabadon's. Let's see how this started. So 665 caught out pretty early on. And importantly, Griscata is not here at the start of the fight. And he actually TP's very far up, so he went for another flank, and that meant that he couldn't just DPS this whole time. He did manage to find Viego, which is pretty critical because it means they don't end up just losing a Baron afterwards. But I think out of position there, probably just needed to be TPing with his team. But now, third dragon 30 seconds away. Baron already up and available, and there's a lot of DPS here from the Azir. I wouldn't be surprised to see DCG once again pull the trigger and just start this one, especially because Relia is going to show bot here, and that could be the info they need.
Does have teleport, sorry. So we'll be able to join after, of course, the channel time. And now, ward's cleared. 65 will start hitting this Baron. There is a ward in the pit, so West Point are very well aware of what is going on as Renier is around. Relia, though, still working on this bot lane tower. Does commit the teleport now. It's in the middle of the pit. Taco will likely ult him. In fact, will. It's also going to get the ult out, but it's a steal. Renier comes in, gets the Baron, and the fight is breaking out. Relia's getting very, very low, and comes the Zhonyas. Relia will be going down. It's a shutdown, goes over to Chris Carter, but not before Renier gets in and gets out with the Baron.
Again, that Baron pickup is very, very nice. Unfortunately, they don't get on this book pusher.
Comes through. Char will be going down. There's another one found, and it looks like Tide might be getting found, but is just able to dodge out of that Chung Q. And now Taco back up top lane. Starting to get to work. All things breaking out at once. It is going to be this third dragon picked up on West Point. Baron empowered recalls means that not much can be found up in top, but huge mistake by DCG giving over that Baron.
Yeah, and I think maybe a mistake to give over the Dragon too, because it was a 5 vs 3 on the map, and they elect to give up that Dragon just to shove in the waves and take the camp. So must be very, very confident that they're going to get the next one. Zonya's now completed for Cascada, so he is going to be able to make some of those big plays. And the way he seems to want to go, you know, he's been trying to flank, trying to find angles with his TP. I think it kind of makes sense, but having no death cap this late in the build, very, very strange. And it even has an alternator on the way.
Yeah. Looking for Shadow Flame, I suppose. Get a few crits going on. Interesting build, that's for sure.
Does feel a bit odd. Baron power play is currently minus 300, but obviously you know it would have been a lot worse if DCG had picked that one up.
For sure.
665. He might look around mid. He snuck into this bush. Culling comes out.
Culling melting away the health of this Caitlyn. 665 going to get hit there by the binding. In fact, getting hit by everything is just taken out.
Yeah, kind of hesitated there. Wasn't sure if he should pull that trigger or not, and ends up just being stuck in no man's land. Is taken out by all that damage on the way out. And Renya, he might try and fool something here. They still have 50 seconds on the Baron, so if they can make some headway, especially while Vi's dead, could blow this game open. Again, they can siege very, very quickly. If they ever get a couple kills here, have the chance to end the game.
For sure. Now, minions aren't getting the chance at the tower just yet. No one really pushing. And a massive chunk there onto Cheng. Teleport will be coming through now. Cascada arriving at the play. Few low health bars. Char and Cheng both supporting roughly 100% HP between the two.
Well, Tide, he does get to this midway first, and West Point will be cycling through their recalls here. 3 items now on the Caitlyn. I feel like at this point can start to deal some damage. Was really struggling up until now, but I think has some impact in this game. You wonder if it's too late. Obviously, the game is still quite close, but there are some very big items on the other team.
I think as Cascada at this point in the game, you really want to avoid, because now Relia has picked up
double
a more.
MR.
Yeah, there's a Banshees coming through as well for Nuli. There's just so much MR you have to shred. You have the most gold in the game by a mile. It's really up to you. The ball is really in your court to be able to get this one across the line, and I don't think Crypt Bloom is the item to do that. The ability to haste, while not a complete waste, isn't the most important stat.
Definitely not great on Azir. And also, I think if you are going Crypt Bloom, you want more AP, right?
Yeah.
And so not having a Rabadons in your build looks very, very strange.
Yep. I definitely feel like it's time to sell the Crypt Bloom. I don't even think you finish your last item. I think you just want to get Void Staff as soon as possible. Because while it's only 10%, the extra 10% Magic Pen turns out to be a considerable amount with the amount of damage that Cascada is able to put out in such a short amount of time.
1.5 minutes on what would be West Point's 4th Dragon if they could pick it up. You have to think
Soul.
DCG will not let that happen. They currently are dropping all their vision on bot sides. They know that this is going to be the battleground next. Going to come, go for resets, spend all their gold, and then come and try and make this fight happen. Baron also spawning 20 seconds after the Dragon, so a trade here isn't that realistic. I think the Dragon will fall over very, very quickly. I think if you're West Point, honestly, maybe just play for a steal. If you can get in here, get some control, try and get your Viego in a position to take this away. Could heist it.
For sure. Already seen him manage to steal 1 Baron so far this game. And it's going to be constant eyes, really, on where this Aurelia is, on who Taco's ulting.
Cascada picks up a Lich Bane, which is actually pretty good on Azir because you can proc it now with your soldiers. The only problem being, again, it synergizes with having more AP, and he doesn't have a Rabadon, so he's going to have to get that somehow. Azir coming through mid.
Oh, Rally is trying to look for the play. Does land the stun here onto Tide, but won't be able to follow up. Does have max passive, and all is breaking out now onto Rally. The ult actually comes through from Taco. All possible damage that could have been going down on that Rally are now missing. More does proc, coming out of the world ender now, and getting so low is Taco, but it's Tide who finds the kill. Emperor's Divide will be flashed away from by Nuli here. But it is a 1 for 0, and importantly, as the Rally are off the map completely, DCG going to be able to find their third dragon and stop the fourth from West Point.
This could maybe even be both objectives. I think they can look for the Baron after. Relia is such a big part of this team, and he is down for another 38 more seconds. So DCG, they will set their sights on this Baron, and they should be able to get it. I don't know how West Point are going to contest, but I think they have to try.
Yeah, Renier almost has ult, does have flash, so can get into the pit. Should also have vision with... Oh, here comes the ult, and Vi has gone to the other side of the world. 665, though, maybe paying the price, is able to get out for now. And it's going to be Cheng, who's found by Taco. Taco's going to be able to take out this AD carry. Both AD carry and as well as 665 have gone down, so that stops the Baron.
I think...
What a mess.
Yeah, I think... let's take a look at this first. This was a very close fight, I think. Relia almost turned this around.
Yeah, Taco, I think, griefed a little bit.
Yeah, he got a huge chunk here, but then unfortunately goes a bit forward, takes half his health bar on the way out, and I think the culling pretty much does nothing just because the Aurelia's in the death realm the whole time. I think Chris Carter might have saved this fight a little bit, zoned out for a while, and also the Crypt Bloom heal, I think, actually got very high value here. It healed pretty much everyone. Sometimes, you know, it doesn't do much because everyone's full HP, but definitely did there. And I feel like after that, 665, that was a free Baron if he hadn't chased into the jungle. Instead, just ends up trading his life, and no Baron picked up, so the show goes on. And I want Chris Carter to sell something. I'm not sure what it is, but he needs a Rabadons, and he probably needs a Void too.
I think it's sell boots angle.
Sell boots? Maybe.
Well, I think every other item is reasonably important. Like,
yeah.
If Aurelia ever gets on you, you have to Zhonya's. And it's not the hardest job for Aurelia to get onto in his ear. 65 Light Binding will land on him, and he is just absolutely eliminated once again. Cascada, though, doing his best to find damage, and find damage he is. Culling coming through. Aurelia going to have to flash away so low. The Leandries is burning, but will not have the damage to find it. So down goes 665 yet again, but the damage found onto Aurelia should mean this Baron is very hard to look for. And all honesty, in front of this Cascada, probably not likely to happen anyway.
Yeah, I think he is a bit too threatening at this point. Remember as well that Mord can ult the jungler and just make this a smiteless Baron at this point, which could be really risky. Cascada has to be a little careful. Stun connects.
Oh, that was so close.
Yeah.
Rally's on a flank.
No flash, though. I wonder, are West Point going to try force this? They might try.
Cascada has to be so careful. He is the entire team. Tide looking for Renier. These Sand Soldiers being repositioned constantly, but the jungler is split from the rest of the team. He's doing his Raptors. Likely to come around. Oh, Taco might be in trouble. Does land the thing. Is going to get so low. Relia trying to find the damage. Taco does have the Zhonya's active available for him. He is able to just escape, actually. Oh, and a massive ult. 665 and Cascada both being found. The damage was not there, though. A lot of defensive items being purchased by Nuli on this Orianna, and now Baron will be started up.
Yeah, I think this is just gone. I don't see a way of DCG getting back into this, and I think with that, it feels like West Point are taking major control of this game, as now they should be the ones that can control all around the dragon.
Right, Cascada sells something. He sold something.
Oh, he's thinking about the boots.
Oh, he's selling everything.
What's he doing? He decided against it.
3 items got sold and undid, and then he left the base.
No death cap this late in the game. Pretty weird. Maybe he was checking if he had enough gold for it or something. I'm not too sure. But really needs to get that death cap somewhere soon.
Is it ever a sell Leandries? Because it's not like there's a whole lot of health stack.
I think you sell Lichbane for Rabadon, or Boots for Rabadon, or even Zhonya for Rabadon. Just something has to go.
What was his secondary runes? Do you remember? It was likely to be inspiration.
It's probably sorcery. I'm not sure.
Does anyone in this game have Gathering Storm? Maybe Char.
Yeah.
Likely Scorch.
He probably has Scorch, yeah. I think Ori probably has Scorch too. I'm not sure there's any Gathering Enjoyers.
If there ever was, this is a game for it. Approaching 40 minutes now. A lot of long games. It's the theme of the PCS thus far.
Right here has a lot of pressure on bot. I think West Point have a very good position here. They can even just cut this next wave and make sure that DCG can't siege at all. DCG kind of needs to protect this wave, and maybe they can, but Tide needs to be careful.
Tide's trying.
Yeah.
Looks like they've managed to. And Taco has fended off.
Okay, they're just going to go down mid, so they're going to ignore the dragon. Honestly, they could end.
Yeah, this
West Point need a base.
Yeah, Cascada's going to one-shot absolutely every tower. All the recalls are coming through.
Are they just going to end?
Okay. At least for now, Renyi is continuing on with this dragon, so if they don't end here, likely will be the game over. Ooh. And it looks like Relia might have enough to save it. In comes Cascada. It's a two-man Emperor divide. He does go golden, but Relia might just be able to clean up this team fight. It's 1,000 gold. Tide manages to find himself one. Nuli's looking for the kill himself. Char will not land. Oh, Tide, it's all up to you, buddy. He's going to get locked up. He's going to get killed. There's 3 left remaining up against Taco. He does have the death realm available for him, but he has no opportunity to use it. And with that, everyone is dead. Teleport's coming through here for Nuli. It's looking like game number 2 will be picked up here from West Point. 20 seconds left on respawn timers for 665, as well as Orca. Do they have the damage to end the game?
I think they... Ooh, maybe they don't quite have it. 665 comes up in 10 seconds, so there is one more chance here for DCG. But they've lost their bot inhibitor. That being said, the buffs have been reset, and a lot of summoners have been used from both sides. So next fight, pretty much everything is on the line for that one.
Hextech Soul for West Point, though. That is a massive game changer.
And I think once again, 665 got too aggressive here. I think didn't realize that there were more people here and not just Relia. He engages early, probably thinking it's just... Well, no. But at this point, he's seen them, but goes in too deep, immediately flashes out and dies. And then Cascada once again saves this with a fantastic flash engage. And I think Tide maybe should have just gone aggressively here. I don't know. He probably needs to look for something aggressive, but it's hard. And now a death cap comes through for Orianna, so probably has a lot more AP than the Azir at this point. Marching down mid lane is West Point. At this point, any small skirmish could easily end the game. Even just one death would probably make the difference.
Extremely back and forward. All right, Azir items have not changed.
Okay, West Point, they want to maintain control around mid. It's pretty easy as well with the Caitlyn traps. Quite hard for DCG to regain that control.
I have to feel like Void Staff, as well as Death Cap, could be a good decision here for Cascada.
Yeah, we'll see. He should have a lot of gold. He's maybe just not sure what to sell at this point. Have to defend this top tower as well. Although can let it go, but it makes contesting Baron a little bit harder. And that feels like it's going to be potentially the thing that ends the game here.
For sure. West Point have had 3 Barons thus far. Might just take 4 to end.
We'll see. I'm not sure they're getting this. I think West Point have so much control, as well as that bot inhib threatening the whole time, which forces someone to respond.
Darko is headed down there. Is at 4 items himself too, so very much anyone's games in terms of items. Of course, the buffs, the Hextech Soul, makes West Point's job quite a lot easier. It's going to take some heroics out of the carries here. Death Cap is purchased.
Oh, thank God. That's looking good. I like his build. He's got move speed from the Lich Bane. I think he'll be okay. It gives him a lot more damage. I wonder how much more AP he got with that. It would have been pretty ridiculous. But now, looking at this last fight, I feel like the Caitlyn is actually really, really strong. In fact, Caitlyn's building a Zhonya.
Well, 665. Oh, he gets out.
I wonder if he just bought that as like a stopwatch, you know?
Who was this?
The Caitlyn.
Oh, maybe.
Because the stopwatch for Vial is pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Very interesting.
Honestly, the Caitlyn doesn't feel like she's the most important. If she can delay time for Norley, for Rallia, almost feels like enough. And oh my.
Big damage.
That was a soldier Q landing and an auto attack from 2 soldiers.
Yep. 665. I don't think you want to look for this engage. As long as you can force West Point out, you can be the ones getting the Baron control and then set up. Don't chase into the Caitlyn traps. There is that bot wave threatening, so at some point Taco will have to reset and clear that out. Wow, the shield just tanks the whole thing. That's pretty good.
I think their bot lane inhib should be respawning somewhat soon.
Yeah, are they going to force this? Or, okay, so Taco answers bot. And as soon as West Point see this, they're going to want to get aggressive here. But currently, it is DCG that hold all the control. And it is quite hard to move past these Azir soldiers.
Sure, they are collapsing though. Rally's looking, the flash goes through. And Chris Carter is just eliminated. Nothing he can do now. His Tide is going to be locked up. He does flash away. They are running. They are maybe getting out. But with the Hex Tech Soul, it doesn't look too likely. Culling comes through. They're able to pop at least the GA. Tide should be away with his life. And it might just be the Baron, but Chris Carter critically getting caught out there. Well played by Rally to find that. And now Baron number 4 for West Point in this 47-minute affair.
Yeah, Baron will get picked up here, but Chris Carter is alive for this Elder, and Vi also can get this bot side scuttled. So I'm not sure how much the Baron is actually going to be relevant here. It's all going to come down to who ends up getting this Elder, because no one can push past it before this Elder is taken. So there is one more chance for DCG in this game. Now, Relia and I think, yeah, there were 3 flashes actually burned their fight by West Point. So despite having the Baron, this might actually be a DCG advantage fight, although Ty lost his sums as well. Friscata is going to have to TP into this very early. He needs to get himself in a safe position. Okay, TP's very safely. I like it. All right.
All inhibs are up.
This should be the final fight. 47 minutes into the game.
I've had a DCG game like this before.
I wonder, are we just going to play for the coin flip? Because with the Baron, West Point, they can play it slow, just keep pushing down mid. It's kind of up to DCG to force something, and they might just DPS it down. Yeah, it all comes down to this.
It might just come down to the flip. A lot of damage here onto Chris Carter, getting very, very low. Rally looking for the flank. It's so low. It gets picked up, and it's picked up by Char. But the fight does come out. Rally is very, very low. It might just burn to the Leandri, sorry, and he does. But the fight is continuing on. Renier does get out. Taco's flashing after him. Tied. Chris Carter. There's so many low health bars from the side of West Point. But it's going to be Char who picks up the Elder. He picks up another kill. He's looking for Chris Carter. Orca trying to get out. Tide's dead. 665 is dead. It's a 4v3. But health bars definitely in favor of the side of DCG. So many low health bars, but it's time after time. West Point coming up trumps.
Somehow, some way, this game is still going. They have the Baron, they have the Elder. Surely they can get it done here, as we'll get a replay of this fight. I don't know how Lux got this Elder. Like, what happened to both the junglers? It was just on like 100 HP for like 3 seconds or something.
Time.
Let's see. So 665, he's on a trap. Renier's right there, and I think he just missed Smite. So somehow that Dragon got picked up by the Lux, and then a ton of damage coming out of Kriscata in this fight. I think he did pretty well on that back end there. Tide, he goes aggressive, almost has the damage, but doesn't quite, and then I guess is sniped on the way out. Yeah, unfortunately, didn't really have anywhere to go with the wall on one side of him, so very well placed there. But okay, these buffs, they will run out eventually. Can West Point finally get it done here? I think they should be able to. It should be too hard, I think, for DCG to hold their base, especially into what is a pretty good siege comp from the side of West Point.
Minions are getting taken out. Baron does go away in 6 seconds. So the pressure will be from this Elder as well as the Hextech Soul. They certainly should be favored in a fight, but at least for now, with all the advantages they've had, haven't been able to get it done cleanly. Minion waves are just getting taken out. There is no more Baron. Tide's looking for damage.
Wow. They're actually going to defend.
That was one auto attack.
Has a lot of damage. But it looks like these buffs will actually expire. The Baron is already gone, and the Elder not far behind. Oh, are they really going to fight right now? They should wait like 10 more seconds. Wait for the Elder to be gone. Oh, Nuli takes a lot of damage again. He's so low.
Oh, serious pop.
The Elder
Rally is so low. Oh, and goes 665. He's definitely in the back line. He doesn't want to be there, and that's a reset. That's Crypt Bloom heal. A lot of low health bars, and a lot of times I've watched Divide go way too deep.
Yeah, 665 not having the best fight. Oh, the fail flash.
No, they failed
everything. Went wide.
Hextech Soul, though, it's so hard to chase into. DCG, by the skin of their teeth, are still remaining in this game. We're 50 minutes in. There is so much on the line here. West Point to continue the series, DCG to close it out.
And this is insane. I mean, I don't know how both teams have failed to end this many times.
Nuli still hasn't died.
Yeah, Nuli just sold his boots for Cosmic as well, which I'm a big fan of. He must have so much AP over there.
One big Azir ult, one big Orianna ult, and the game ends.
Yep. I feel like whichever team wins this doesn't feel very good about it.
No.
But you feel a hell of a lot worse if you lose. And Baron spawning a minute and 15 seconds from now. Could this be the Baron to finally end the game? I sure hope so.
We'll see. It hasn't been the cleanest affair.
Cascada sold a Zhonya for Banshee.
Wow.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, I guess maybe just he keeps getting Caitlyn altered, or...
Yeah,
I mean, I don't feel like... I don't know. Maybe it just feels like Nuli and Char doing so much damage, the MR's worth more than the active.
Yeah, could be. Something I forgot about this whole time is that West Point have Hextech Soul.
Yeah.
And there's still not enough.
Yeah, they've had 4 Barons as well. Oh, Tide's back to full health. We're at the point where the AD carry just gleefully tanks the other AD carry's ult.
Yep. Or
this Hextech
the pressure's building.
Yeah.
A lot of damage coming out of Cascada. Loses Banshee there. It's quite hard for DCG to face check into these Caitlyn traps. So they have to try and force a response on mid. But with Baron only 10 seconds away, I think the window is already closed, and this is looking better and better for West Point, but they get pretty aggressive
Tide
here.
is still confident enough to walk forward. Breath of Light comes out. We're splitting the map in opposite directions. Culling, so much damage. Nuli's going to be able to get away. And it's just so impossible for the side of DCG to play into this Hextech Soul. West Point playing phenomenally.
Oh, DCG, though, they've managed to get past the Caitlyn traps, which is pretty important here. And now, the teams have actually swapped sides somehow.
Okay. Luxol will go wide. Oh, no, I've seen this one before. He's stunned up, but Rally's getting very, very low. Tide does flash, but the mark is on, and if Rally chooses to go, but Rally's gone into the GA. Tide is finding the damage. Taco's ulting as Ching9. Taco is going to be taken out. Rally does get taken out on the other side, however. Actually, Taco's surviving. It's Tide. Tide is finding everyone. There's 2. There's 3. And all that's left is going to be Chang, who's taken out by Taco. And despite all odds, Tide finds the Quadra to take the game. 54 minutes in.
54 minutes in, and West Point have 100,000 gold. And Lucian in one team fight puts up almost 11k damage. Tide just played that fight so well. And at long last, this series will be closed out 2-0. But man, I think if you're DCG, it doesn't in any way feel like a 2-0.
No, this last game in itself felt like about a 7-6 or something. What an absolute game. We had a Baron steal. We had